Sheila Jackson Lee is with us, the Congresswoman representing the 18th District of Texas so brilliantly. And Congresswoman Lee, welcome back to the program.
Pleasure to be with you. How are you?
I'm well, and how are you today? And what is, well, first of all, what's going on in our Congress, and secondly, what's going on with our presidential campaign?
Well, let me say what's going on is we've got a historic race for the White House with the first woman Democratic nominee who's shown herself to be a person with a vision, with ideas, with plans to uplift the lives of all Americans, and she is running as hard as she possibly can. On the other side, of course, there is a vacuum of no issues, fraudulent foundations, the Trump Foundation, universities that have taken Trump University that has taken the money from hardworking veterans and others to max out on their credit card, and they've gotten nothing. Investigated by the Attorney General out of New York and California. And so there is a definitive choice of someone who all of her life has chosen public service, and in each measure of that public service, whether it's right after law school working with the Children's Defense Fund, but more importantly, as First Lady in Arkansas, changing that educational system, creating children's health insurance, and then on to a very historic service in the Senate and in the State Department. You have someone who you can look at a record of accomplishment in public service and working for people. Yes. I would hope that the debate as we move forward opens the doors to more people seeing what Hillary Clinton stands for, and on contrast, the shallowness and unfitness of the nominee for the Republican Party.
Of Donald Trump, yeah. Well, I'm still astonished why he's not yet charged with bribery in the Pam Bondi affair or scandal or whatever you want to call it.
Well, you know, you need to keep talking. You are obviously a person that stands on facts. And if we can get more of those facts out, you're absolutely right. And I guess for your listeners, just to repeat the fact that the first misstep or unbelievable act was the money going out of the Trump Foundation. Of course, someone argues that it was a mistake, but you know what mistakes are in that instance of writing a check is I got caught in the mistake.
Yeah.
But we know that the New York Attorney General, who is a energized person for consumer protection, sent out the word that he was going to move forward on actions against Trump University and wanted to see whether his fellow attorney generals across the nation had received similar complaints. And he seemed to have gotten the interest of the attorney general in the state of Florida, who had obviously received complaints. And in a moment's notice, a $25,000 donation came, and I don't think that lawsuit has ever been brought on behalf of the people of Florida. To me, the nexus and connection is too direct and conspicuous, and it is a sad state of affairs. And it happened in other states as well, where donations were given all of a sudden any interest in suing the Trump University on behalf of the citizens of that state just dissipated. And that's not the way we treat. And I think in all of the suggestions of mistake that has been assessed as the secretary, one, she has always stood fast to answer all questions, and her mistakes have not jeopardized the response to consumers across America when they have pleaded for relief.
Right. And then on top of this, we've got this phony email scandal. And in the meantime, I mean, the law was passed in '78. It's the Presidential Records Act, which said that if the president or vice president engage in correspondence, that becomes public record rather than private. But the Reagan administration ignored it. They did not keep all their emails. The George Bush Sr. administration ignored it. The Clinton administration actually complied with that law for 8 years. George W. Bush came into office and again started ignoring the law. And in fact, they destroyed 22 million emails that might have told us who outed Valerie Plame and why, might have told us why we invaded Iraq and who was to benefit. I mean, all this stuff. And Karl Rove was found in contempt of Congress, or was charged with contempt of Congress for refusing to testify. He went to Yalta instead to try to hype John McCain's campaign in 2008. None of this stuff seems to even be discussed in the media. And it's like they're always looking for false equivalency, right? Oh, we've got a climate scientist on. Let's get a climate denier on, as if, you know, it's somehow equivalent. Why, if they're so in love with these phony equivalencies, why are they not comparing Hillary Clinton turning actually over her emails, you know, the ones that were destroyed or attempted to destroy were the personal ones, not the government ones, turning all our government emails over, versus the Bush administration actually destroying 22 million and screwing up, as the federal prosecutor, Patrick, what's his name, pointed out, screwing up the prosecution of outing Valerie Plame.
Well, wow, you brought Valerie Plame. I mean, thank you.
You're welcome. That was my opening rant today, actually.
Of literally destroying a public servant's career through the misdeeds of the administration at that time, literally forcing a person out of their covert status through the operatives in the Bush administration. Unbelievable. And as you indicated, at least Hillary Clinton had emails to give up.
Yeah.
Whoever asked for any email, who knows anything about any emails, period, in the Bush administration. But it's apples to oranges, absolutely. Thank you for the Washington Post story, at least on the front page, I think, or in the paper, or editorial, excuse me, in the editorial, saying enough is enough. We have said that over and over again. But let me also make the point that none of the we are pretty antiquated.
Yeah. Congresswoman, can you hold on just a moment, please? And we got to take a break.
You're listening to Thom Hartmann. Visit ThomHartmann.com for audio and video archives.
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee is with us. We'll be right back.